In this video, I want to discuss how the emotional stress of the coronavirus pandemic and state-controlled lockdowns have affected your health and your body. The continued pandemic of SARS-CoV-2 is causing major psychological stress. Many have fear of catching the virus, countless people have been laid off, and countless businesses have been shut down. It's devastating. We have been put in social isolation and personal lockdown, which has been shown to suppress the immune system. Yes, social isolation has been shown to weaken the immune system. Our minds are being twisted from rumors surrounding the coronavirus, and we definitely have information overload. The corona crisis has us all feeling uncertain about our health, our employment, our finances, our relationships, and the economy. This uncertainty creates fear and anxiety, leaving you feeling powerless. Fear and anxiety lead to heightened stress and the elevation of stress hormones in the blood and in the body, including adrenaline, norepinephrine, and cortisol. Cortisol is a hormone that helps regulate your blood sugar levels. It helps regulate metabolism, and it acts as an anti-inflammatory. When we don't or we can't control our perceived stressors, cortisol levels rise in the blood. The problem is with long-term stress, cortisol is released in the blood like a dripping faucet, which will suppress the immune system and increase your risk of getting infected by the virus. The problem is, at least the three major issues I see with elevated stress and cortisol in the body during the pandemic is stress and cortisol will cause immune suppression. It'll push you to eat processed foods, pushing you closer to disease, and it'll increase your belly fat and body fat, which can cause hormone abnormalities. Research shows elevated cortisol in the blood will suppress specific white blood cells called natural killer cells and cytotoxic T cells. Natural killer cells rapidly recognize cells infected by viruses, engulf them, and directly get rid of them. Cytotoxic T cells kill infected cells by punching holes into the cell, injecting them with enzymes, ultimately killing the cell infected by a virus. So basically, your fear surrounding the current virus and your situation is actually suppressing your immune system, making you more prone to getting this virus and developing symptoms. Under times of stress, we want to soothe ourselves, and we do this by eating feel-good foods, foods that are loaded with salt, sugar, and fat. Eating gluten-filled foods, dairy products, and white refined sugars will not only disrupt normal immune function, eating those foods will definitely push you closer to developing disease. Eating gluten can cause leaky gut and countless autoimmune diseases and disrupt normal immune function. Dairy products can cause systemic inflammation in the body and push you closer to developing reproductive cancers. White refined sugars suppress the immune system and increase insulin, which drives disease. Again, processed feel-good foods and nutrient-absent foods push you closer to developing disease. And last, chronic stress and cortisol will affect your body composition, where you're increasing body fat and reducing muscle size and density. Basically, here's how. The elevation of cortisol promotes eating and decreases your brain's sensitivity to a hormone called leptin, which regulates your hunger and appetite. Basically, cortisol blocks the function of leptin in your brain, tricking you and your brain into feeling hunger, and so then you go out and consume more calories. Cortisol can turn on areas of the brain, the reward center, the nucleus accumbens, which increases your tendency to consume foods loaded with salt, sugar, and fat. Belly fat becomes an inflammatory nightmare, releasing compounds in your body called adipocytokines, which will push you closer to disease. Elevated cortisol can increase body fat and belly fat, setting the stage for hormone abnormalities and problems. Basically, excessive body fat will produce an enzyme called aromatase, which turns your sex hormones like testosterone into estrogen. The more body fat you create or have, the higher the aromatase levels you will have, which will continue to make high estrogen. For guys, this is a serious problem, as high estrogen can create man boobs, prostate problems, high blood pressure, decrease your libido, and create problems with erections. For women, high estrogen and low testosterone can cause symptoms like breast swelling and tenderness, fibrocystic breast issues, decreased sex drive, irregular menstrual periods, PMS, mood swings, headaches, unintentional weight gain, anxiety, panic attacks, hair loss, cold hands and feet, trouble sleeping, fatigue, memory issues, and the list continues. So, as you can see, the stress of the pandemic and isolation may have wreaked havoc on your health. And to add fuel to the fire, emotional stress and cortisol will prevent the motivation to exercise, which can contribute to elevated body fat. Elevated cortisol and stress will disrupt your sleep, which can decrease the production of growth hormone in the body while you sleep, preventing you from burning fat while you sleep. A lack of sleep will increase systemic inflammation, pushing you closer to developing chronic health issues. And if you can't sleep, I don't suggest reaching for more alcohol. Maybe consider taking a research-based magnesium calcium supplement to settle your nerves and your mind before bed. So, what can you do to rebuild your health and your body from the effects of the pandemic stress? Focus on controlling things that are under your control. Freaking out over the unknown is not healthy, and it will compromise your health. The only certainty right now is you taking actions to improve your health. So if you get exposed, your body will fight off the virus with little complications. Learn to embrace the uncertainties of life. The pandemic has created many uncertainties. Try and focus on solvable worries you can control and refocus your mind on the present moment. But most importantly, you must change your perception of the current stressors. That's happening during this pandemic. Life is filled with frustration, pain, disappointments, and unpredictable actions of others and unpredictable environmental situations. You can't change this endless loop, but you can change your perception of the stressor. And by doing so, you can minimize the release of cortisol, adrenaline, norepinephrine, and as well as the destructive effects they have on the body. Stop eating processed, high-calorie, sugar-pumping, insulin-pumping foods. Eat nutrient-dense foods to mitigate the harmful effects of the processed food diet that you have been on over the last few months. Remember, under stressful situations, the body needs vitamins and minerals more than ever. Exercise. Research shows regular exercise boosts the immune system and increases the level of healthy hormones. Exercise also regulates your blood sugar and helps get rid of body fat. Breathe. Slow, controlled, and mindful breathing has been shown to reduce the effects of stress by decreasing the amounts of stress hormones in the body. For more information on rebuilding yourself and reversing damage caused by the stress of the pandemic and the lockdowns, I recommend you get yourself a copy of my book, Rebuild. It's the only book that provides you with research and tools to create a personalized plan unique to your health issues. It's also the only book that provides you with tools to create a customized food plan and exercise plan to lose body fat and increase lean muscle tissue based on your unique metabolism. The links to read more about Rebuild and to order your copy will be listed below. Life is filled with uncertainty, especially during these crazy times. Your mindset and your internal grit is the key to coping with these current stressors when you face uncertainty. You must change your perception of your stressors to minimize the stress reaction in the body and reduce the amount of these stress hormones in the blood, which will suppress your immune system, increase your body fat, and push you closer to disease. You also need to focus on rebuilding your health by getting rid of crappy foods, get back to an exercise plan to reverse your health issues and prevent complications of an infection if you get exposed to the virus. I believe with the right tools you can restore your health, and I have confidence we will get through these troubling times and certainly this pandemic. And I look forward to being a part of your personal rebuild.